apples and a pretzel bun, paint from life. In the last chapter, we did the negative space around the uh, left-hand apple, and we marveled that right here there is a graphic negative space arrow shape, which I'm envisioning that's the stick and this is the triangle point. And I'm marveling that if we can capture that on the paper, that is going to make a subliminal arrow that directs the eye into the center of the painting, which of course will be a major win if we can actually get that to happen. We did the negative space, attempted an underpainting of wood, which looks like complete heck, but at least we laid down some paint, so I guess that's a win right there. I'm going to take this brush here, which is a number 2, it says, but and I messed this brush up very early in its brush career, but whatever. We're going to try to. I got this, which is, I believe that's lunar blue, and I'm going to mix that with the very limited amount of this brown, which is a Primatech brown, similar to like burnt umber. And then also we have a similar thing here. So now we got 3 different colors, and what we have is a Payne's gray that leans into blue. And so I am going to just try to get some of these wood grain lines, and I guess we should start right here because these are going to be the most distinctive lines. So let's just see if we can get like some simple lines here to say, hello, we are wood grain. And I don't know if that looks so great. We'll see. Possibly. Try some up here. Sort of mirror the thing of wood grain. Now I'm going to just see about put some water on the top ones just to get a fade out, and maybe like right here. And that's turning green, but for some reason, let's see about soften these. And hopefully by messing around with some water, we're gonna soften the intensity slightly and make it just more of a and I don't know if it really looks that good, but I think what we had better continue that over here just so we have a bit of continuity. And then we are going to mess around with these also with some water. And let's see about right there, a couple up here. I think I'm adding water and to get a more of a faint bunch of lines up here. And that looks pretty horrible, but we'll see later on if let's get some water here, just sort of, we want this to be a subtle message of, hi, I'm wood grain. Let's see, blot some of that up. Okay, doesn't look bad. Looks weird, but early here in the painting. So now we're gonna see about the same kind of color. See if we can get something down here. This is shadow here. And as we're close, we want to go warmer. Let's add some red in there. Let's see if we can. So that definitely looks like it's in front of that, so that's a win right there. Now I'm going to see about just get some more up here. And let's get this, and we're going to get rid of this line that is invading our our bread thing. And this one just, so here we're trying to say hello, we're behind that, and I wish this was not in there. Let's see if it'll remove, and it is kind of going away. And this is, weird looking, but whatever. See about, okay. And this, I'm just going to put water there and try to make that lighter, and now it's lighter. And this doesn't look very good either. But we're laying down some paint, and hopefully, anyway, we got negative space happening underneath this apple. You can see the how the apple is coming into focus, and I don't think it looks that great, but whatever. Now let's see about this line that's right here. Let's see if we can put this line in. That's right there, I guess. And it'd be good if this one here is lighter, and I guess that is in a way lighter. Not light enough though. We've hinted at that one, and that's not a really good thing to have in the background. But we are trying to lay down some paint, and I'm gonna see about just get a very, light kind of brown. Let's see about right here. Contrast looks close, fade out looks farther away. So, this definitely looks closer than that, but I'm not sure it's such a great idea what we're doing here. I'm going to see about a little bit of this here just for. Okay, that's good. This is not that great, but it's going to dry much lighter. And that looks terrible, but I think if we get just see if we could remove a little bit of that right there. Okay, well, I think that looks farther away than that, and this looks closer than that, so I guess we're building depth. Thanks for the single thumbs up, and let's jump into this apple here. Find a good red. There's a deep red. All right, I don't know what that is, but let's go this here. Just gonna start this shadow right here. Okay. Now I'm sensing some yellow right here. I'm just gonna grab this yellow is a Hansa yellow, and let's just see if we can come right here with that yellow. This is, kind of like a highlight and shadow, so that we have put it there. I need a more intense yellow right there. See if we can get a little bit more. Yeah, there's a little more yellow, okay. And while we're at it, we got yellow green right here. Let's try to hit that. Another one here. Building form in the apple behind. And now we want to get more of a rich red, and This red here, I forgot what it's called, but it's a really opaque red. And I don't know if this, I guess that kind of matches some of these reds here. I'm going to see about this side. Okay. I'm avoiding painting on the edge because we want to, maintain riveting perspective around the edge. See this line right here? I'm going to try to get this line that's right there. And so, and then it's like right here. Good. And, up here we want a more faint red. So let's see about a more faint red. I just pretty much watered down the brush, and now I'm going to try to go here, and that's going to be our faint red. This is the top edge of the apple, so it's a pretty critical area. And then right here in this spot we need green because that's right here, it's some green there. So I'm going to just sort of dry the brush, pick up this paint with the drier brush. It's not really working. If I had two hands, I would squish the water out of the brush with my hand, but I'm holding the phone here with one hand. Now we got, we want, kind of a faint green. There's a mixture of a whole lot of colors. So, but anyway, we're just hint at this green here, which that's a terrible version, but whatever. Now I'm going to blot that up, and I think I'm just going to put the towel there. Okay. Now we got a very faint green. Good. That's a start. Now let's try to hit this yellow. The yellow is on both sides of the stem here. Yellow, yellow, and then the stem's right up the middle. And really this right there is the angle that we are attempting to get this apple stem. So now we need that yellow in there. This is Hansa yellow up there. And just gonna sort of mess around, be sure I got a good version of that. And this is gonna go up. This is the left side of the skin, the stem. This is the right side. It's not a good tone, but I'm just going to blot it. Now we got a very faint tone there, which is closer to what we're looking for in that thing. And now right here we want this, which is actually a highlight, of that yellow. We're going to do the same thing, blot it up. So we're just signaling that that's this area here. So next we got to move in with some red. Let's move in with some red for this area right here. This highlight is this, and you're gonna put some water on there and remove more of the paint, I hope. Let's see. Didn't really remove more paint, but anyway, now let's hit it with the red. So we got a kind of a murky red here. We're at the underpainting stage, so murky colors are perfectly fine. And I'm gonna leave white right there. So you see that white there, that is really going to be this highlight, even though we attempted to paint that yellow. And then right here we can see shadow. The deepest part of the shadow is like 1, 2, 3 blotches right there. So we're going to see about that. 1, 2, 3. So that's the deepest part of that shadow. And then the also deeper, I'm going to add some of this Primatech, I don't remember what they call it, quinacridone or something, but it's kind of like a violet. And we're going to see about doing this shadow. We got a highlight and shadow right here. We're going to observe that. But all the way around it, we have what could be some of the darkest areas of the shadow on this side of the apple, and that we got there. And then right here I see pretty intense shadow, so we're going to try to say hello on the intense part of the shadow on the lower right hand side, and just kind of come up. Really don't want any lines in the watercolor, and that looks suspiciously like a line, but whatever. Now we're going to try to soften this edge, so that's much softer now. We're gonna pick up some of this excess water there. Now what we got is a line that goes down here but then fades into whatever, and it's not really the proper color for down there. I'm gonna try to blot this up, and now I want to just hint at some yellow, because that's a hint of yellow right there. So there's my hint of yellow, and that's a good yellow. Let's see about putting that up here also. Looks good. Okay, do we want it in this part of the apple? Kind of right here. I've been waiting for a kind of a yellow right there, so I don't know if that's really it. It's not really it. I'm gonna add a touch of green, and then I'm gonna blot that up, and it didn't really stick much. What we want is a yellow green right there. Okay, there's a yellow. Let's see if we can just lift some of that up. Okay, and I want to see about getting a green here. This is, I believe, like called sea green, and it's a kind of a muted green. So let's see if that. I'm seeing like these lines right here. Let's see if we can hint at those lines here. Okay. And that doesn't really look great, but if we have it blotted up, now we got a subtle, I don't know what that is, but it's not a good thing there. And do we have any green there we want to represent? I think right here is definitely one. And so that does not look good, but I'm gonna leave it there a second. Now I'm gonna see a slightly dry brush, sort of lift that off, and maybe lift off even more. That's good. Now we gotta say that the top of the apple is way up here. The stem, which we want to get about this angle at stem, is gonna be like around here. Anyway, this I don't really like it anymore. I'm try to lift it off. Just putting a bunch of water there. It's not going away. Oh, sorry about that. We're trying to get this lighter, rubbing that with water. Thank you, 3 people who stopped by for a visit, real-time watercolor painting. And oh, it's starting to rain now. We might have to call a halt for that reason. Anyway, let's see if we can't get more coverage and just work on a red here. I want to get the mid-tone reds. And I'm gonna go up here. And there, okay. I think we got, a pretty good structure being built here for this apple. And I don't like any lines, but I'm gonna just see about putting a line up there. I really do not like lines in a watercolor. I'm gonna see about a yellow right here. That looks bad. We also want yellow right there. That I'm gonna blot up, and I'm gonna sort of go up here also. And now I'm gonna leave it there a minute just to soak in, and let's just see if we can lift up some of that. Okay, good. Do we want that up there? I think at least right there is good. All right, see what brush okay. Next, I want to just start hinting at this texture that's in here. So I do have, kind of a golden right there. Let's just see if we can hint at that right there. Now let's see what we got that passes for straight water, and see if we can just sort of start putting some kind of shadow in there. And I'm going to put kind of a gray, very faint gray in the back. It's not quite as faint as I had in mind, but let's just put some right there. All right, by having a cool color right there, hoping that, you know, the cool color compared to a warm color, that this is going to look behind this. And I think in a way it's successful. I'll put a little bit right there also. And let's just blot that up. At least now we got something, you know, happening in this big white area, which is going to be that eventually. 20 minutes. Well, let's see if we can't get in here. I seem to be, we did the negative space first on this front apple, and now we seem to be missing the boat. Now this is going to be the stem. Whoops. Okay, let's see about a deeper red there. And that's looking good. And then let's see if we can emphasize this area. A lot of water on there, but you know, we're trying to here we're just trying to get more depth or okay, well, we got the beginning of something happening here. I appreciate everyone who stopped by. I am going to take a break, and then if it doesn't start raining, we're going to hit it to the limit. Okay, Art Fun, 3 articles of still life, 2 size apples, and a pretzel bun.